This video is all about retrieval as part of our VIPERS acronym. What does retrieval mean when we're teaching reading skills? It means that we should be getting our children to identify and explain the key features of fiction and non-fiction texts, such as characters, events, titles, and information. Retrieval questions use the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and why. For example, find the answer in the text and write it on the line. So they should be looking for all of these key 5W words in the text: where something happened, what happened to that character, who did what, when did that event happen. So it's basic reading and comprehension. They should be able to read the words but understand what happened, who it happened to, where it happened, and so on. An example would be, read the following extract from this story. This was Bo's favourite time of year. Everyone was here. Mum, Dad, Bo, Leo, Gran, Cousin Evie, Uncle Charlie, Auntie Mai, and Uncle Jayan were all squeezed around the table. All of Bo's family had gathered together for a reunion dinner. They were celebrating a very special and exciting occasion, Chinese New Year. Now try and answer the retrieval questions on the next slide. Why were the family having a special dinner? And the child would then have to go back and retrieve the correct piece of information to help them write the answer. So why were the family having a special dinner? They could write because they were celebrating the important event of Chinese New Year. Next question says, give 2 people who were sat around the table. Again, your child would have to go back to the text. A good way of doing this sometimes is to show them the text and get them to underline with a coloured pen or highlighter the key points. And this really helps them, rather than trying to guess where it was in the text. It really helps them, especially if it's a long piece of text. By highlighting or underlining, they can then go straight back to where that piece of evidence is located and answer it. So give 2 people who were sat around the table, and they would go back and choose any of the 2 characters that were described in the extract. Another question could be, put ticks in the table to show which sentences are true and which are false. And they have at least 4 or 5 different statements, and they tick true or false. The family was celebrating a birthday. No, so they tick false. There were 5 people sat around the table. Oh, they'd have to maybe go back and check how many people there were all together. It looks like there were more than 5. So I might tick false because there were more than 5. This was Bo's favourite time of year. Again, they go back to the text. Where does it say that? Oh, the first line. This was Bo's favourite time of year. They can go back and tick the correct box for true. The family were gathered for a reunion dinner. If we're not sure, get your child to go back and look. And yes, it says they were gathered together for a reunion dinner. So we tick true. These are the sorts of questions that we will be using in class at school, as well as in the different assessments that takes place at the end of term. So if you could support your child with these sorts of questions at home, you don't have to have an exam paper or anything like that. All you need is to be asking them these kinds of questions. So to summarise, retrieval. What kind of text is this? You could ask your child, who did this to the other person? Where did the event happen? When did it happen? What happened when? Why did that happen? How did, how many, or what happened to the key characters in the story, and so on. I hope this was helpful.